Hey everybody, this is Hector with the Faith and Fandom podcast, coming to you from the road yet again because I apparently don't like sleeping in my own bed or seeing my children or my family or my wife or my dogs. Maybe not, but I love all of those things, but this is con season, so once again I'm on the road. So apologies for the background noise of travel. Just pretend you're in the passenger seat with me and I'm totally, boring you with a long discussion and not letting you talk much. That's fairly accurate. But yeah, I'm on the road from Knoxville, Tennessee. Just finished up Fanboy Expo 2019. First time ever doing that show, and it was an experience. It was a good experience. I've done 2 shows in Knoxville, but they were always smaller shows at a different venue. This was at the big convention center. If you've ever been in Knoxville, where the big old golden marble in the sky is, it's right below there. And this is one of those shows that had a pretty decent roster of celebrities, so that was a factor in attendance and everything like that. So that was a thing. Jennifer Carpenter, I think is her name, but the actress that plays Deborah Morgan from Dexter, just walked by my booth today and spoke to her a little bit. One of my favorite wrestlers was there. I saw Mick Foley up close. I've met him plenty of times, so I didn't really want to take away my time or other people's time doing that. Also saw Pee Wee Herman, so that's a thing. But there are also a ton of other celebrities that were at this show that I just did not see because I was by myself and it was busy, and that's a thing. And they did a thing with their structure where everything was split into 2 buildings, and not even just like across the street building, across the street, down an elevator or an escalator, and go through security check every time you went in. So I did not have the means or ability to really go meet any celebrities. In fact, the only celebrities I did meet were the ones that came to my table. So that's a thing. But I just thought it would be a good experience to be able to go there. And it was my first time really doing a full-blown big 3-day show in the Knoxville region. I enjoyed it. It's one of those things, if you've ever talked to Vincent or I, or we've had those discussions with you at our booth, that we don't ever actually check our finances on what we're making at a show. It's kind of our rule that we don't want finances actually being a factor. And it's not even just about profit or greed or anything like that. It's that doing these shows are expensive, and if we know that we're at a loss financially, like we're not covering our table, we're not covering our hotel, we're not doing those things, it can be pretty discouraging. But we like to keep the main thing and focus on the fact we're there to love people and be encouraging and talk with people, pray with people, do whatever we can. And so we never actually count our finances, so I couldn't even tell you if I covered any of my costs this weekend. But I do know that Tennessee, because they're proactive, had a lovely piece of paper from the IRS waiting for me at my table. So that's a thing. So I'm going to have to fill that out. Yay, taxes. But no, it was a good show. I did have a good experience. Here's some really cool things that I noticed about the show. One, that it was the single biggest booth I've ever had. Like, I made a post, but like straight up, you could have done interpretive dance like in my booth space. There was so much space. Let's see what else. They gave us trash cans. Now, some of the shows, even the biggest, fanciest shows I go to, they don't give you trash cans. They give you like one trash can for every 12 vendors or something. Every single booth got a trash can. And I know that's a small thing, but I kept my area a little bit neater because I actually had a trash can. So kudos to that. And for me, honestly, like, I'm a logistics person. So knowing how I'm doing something really affects how much I enjoy it or stress out about it or whatever else. And so the simple act of getting my stuff unloaded and loaded really just kind of like weighed in on my mind the whole weekend. But it was a good time. I did enjoy it. One of the cool things about it this weekend was that I actually got to go to a nerd church service at the con. The folks from Spirit and Truth Fellowship, the Spakes family out of Knoxville, they are kind of the hub ministers for geek culture in Knoxville. And anytime there's a show in Knoxville, they probably are going to have a chapel service or a panel or something to that effect. And this morning, I got to show up and just go sit and actually be a part of a Comic-Con church service. And I didn't realize it until I was sitting there, but it was the first time I had been to a Comic-Con church service that I wasn't running. This kind of sounds like how my life goes, but it was the first time I had been to one I wasn't running. And so that's a thing. But man, it was a good time. They actually had a few worship leaders from the church show up and lead in song. And then Mr. Spakes spoke on the whole concept of how hateful Christianity can seem to those in the world. And he spoke on that meme. I live in a cult. I love that I am a part of a culture where preaching about a meme is a perfectly valid form of communication. And that's not even sarcasm or joking. That makes me happy. Anyway, he preached on the meme of if your religion causes you to hate someone, you need a new religion. And he talked about how judgmental and hateful it can feel to be a lost person in church culture or around judgmental Christians. And not that everyone is, but we've all met those people. Man, it's so discouraging to be around those people and be influenced by those people. And so he really hit the things like that Paul taught. I'm driving, obviously, so can't even look this up, but I'm gonna go with 1 Corinthians 5 and let's say 12. That's what I remember this morning. But 1 Corinthians 5 for sure. But in 1 Corinthians 5, there's this scripture that says, what business is it of mine to judge people outside of the church? And, it's the people inside the church that we're responsible for. And, that was a big deal. Something I think we needed to hear. And I really enjoyed the fact that there was staff from the Comic-Con there hearing that. And, but also, he hit the woman caught in adultery in John 8 about, I don't condemn you, go and sin no more. And he hit just some really solid stuff that, he desires mercy instead of sacrifice. So that was really encouraging. And then, but then he sucker punched right back with the thing about when it came right after not judging people outside the church, but that we do have a responsibility to hold each other accountable and even, at times discipline those of us inside the church who are just being buck wild. And, convicted me and, kind of challenged me as well in that capacity. But it was nice to just walk into a con, sit down and have a church service without having to do any of the other work for it. On a flip side, though, coming up at Raleigh SuperCon / GalaxyCon Raleigh, or whatever name it decides to call itself next week, they gave us a Sunday morning church service. Like, they've given me panels for 2 years, but it happened, y'all. Sunday morning, 10:15, GalaxyCon, Geek Church. It's going down. Not just a faith and fandom discussion, a full-blown church service. Music, a message. I'm excited about it. So that's going down. That's totally happening. And, I'll keep us updated and more posted about it coming up. But, yeah, that's going to be super cool. And on the note of other super cool things, got some more details on San Diego. I am going to be a part of 3 panel discussions at San Diego. And I know this because it's on the San Diego Comic-Con website. Bazinga. It's there. If you go to the San Diego Comic-Con website and look up Hector Mirai, by the way, that's how I pronounce my last name. Get it right. Mirai. If you go to the San Diego Comic-Con website and look up Hector Mirai, lo and behold, you will find 3 panels listed. And, y'all, it's all God doing this. It's all Him putting it together. I do want to thank Geeky Guys and Gals for God. I want to thank I'm going to say this wrong, but the Christian Comic Book Artists Society. I'm 98% sure that's the right name. But, these are folks that are helping make it possible for me to be at San Diego and to be able to do this. And so that's a big deal. That's coming up. And I'm pumped about it. I am legitimately super excited. I'm getting more and more nauseous. I couldn't even think about it before because I had to deal with Knoxville first. But, yeah, that's totally happening. It's... As I'm coming home now, it's Sunday night. I leave Thursday morning for San Diego, and I'll be there until I'll get back home about Tuesday afternoon. So, big stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing at San Diego other than my panels. I don't have any idea. I haven't looked into anything. I haven't thought about anything. But I'll be there, sweating in the California heat. Wait, I don't know. Is California cooler? Is that a thing? Is it breezier there? The only time I've been was in I don't know. I feel like it was in February, and I was in San Francisco, and I don't know if that's different. But either way, I will be leaving for San Diego this week, so that's a neat thing. But yeah. Good travels overall, but I gotta say, a bit tired of these 7-hour drive weekends. Last week I spoke at a camp in Alabama, which was a 7-hour drive, and now I'm on the way back from this con, which is a 7-hour drive. I don't have that many hours to go. I'm like at 2.5 hours to go, so I'm way shorter than Avengers Endgame in getting there. But yeah. So, also was really excited to see some of the cosplays that were at Fanboy Expo this weekend. There was a fantastic Stranger Things Season 3 group. There was a Steve Harrington. If you look on my Facebook or my Instagram, you'll be able to see the group shot from Fanboy Expo, let's say day 2 or 1. Day 2 or 1. But, man, Steve Harrington's makeup was on fleek, as the young people say. But this was beat up by Russians, Steve, so that was a big deal. Sorry, that's a spoiler, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so that was really good. There were a lot of great cosplays that I super enjoyed being a part of. My booth neighbors were cool this time. I was beside a young person that had felt or crap. I don't even know. Knitting? I don't know what it was. But stuffed random anime things. Like I bought a stuffed bowl of ramen from her. I don't remember. I bought a stuffed bowl of ramen with an angry face on it. Just wanted to support my booth neighbors. But also the folks beside me made dragon eggs out of chainmail. So that was cool too, or dragon scales. And so it was just a neat thing. It was also cool to see some familiar faces and friends stop by, even though, you know, I'm like 7 hours from home. One dude stopped by that was at the college where I used to be a college pastor at, North Carolina. So good experiences overall. I ate at a place right in downtown Knoxville called Soccer Taco. It's I've actually eaten there before, but that was some pretty good food. And a Mexican place called Habaneros. And I ordered the same thing at both places, chimichangas, because I'm about that life. And for the record, I was about that life before Deadpool made it popular. But I just enjoy a good chicken chimichanga with some rice and beans. I think that's a solid way to go. I know some people are about that ACP, but a chicken chimichanga all day. Other thoughts before I get off of here. If you're coming to the show, we have officially retired Book One. A lot of people are asking me about that, and they're rather saddened, but I can't afford to order copies of enough for people to buy things. And Book One had a good shelf life, you know. Book One was on the street for 6 years. And it makes me think about bands that I love, that I want to hear them play all their old songs when they got new songs out and they're all frustrated. Like, don't ask me to play this song from 6 albums ago. And I'm like, I get it now. Like, I know Book One was a thing, but we need to move on. But you can always get Book One on Amazon, and I lowered the price dramatically on Amazon with that. Although it was super cool that there was a dude who got Book One off the internet and brought it out to have me sign it. That was neat. To have someone else pull a Book One out. And yeah, just a good experience. Oh, cool thing too, they had wrestling and concerts in this amphitheater on the water right outside of the con. I thought that was really neat too. But yeah, big spaces, well organized in a lot of areas. Just overall, it was a good show. I'm looking forward to the next 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to the stuff that's happening, but at the same time, I'm really looking forward to it being over for a minute. Once I get past GalaxyCon / SuperCon, I have a month off of cons where I don't do anything until Labor Day weekend, and I'm super pumped about that. And I'm currently trying to write a book for a church, not a fandom book, but I'm trying to go ahead and get a book out and ready pretty soon about church culture. So I want to get that done so I have a nice lull before I start working on book 7 and some other stuff. So hopefully you'll hear some more soon, but I'm gonna get off of here, and honestly I just want to listen to some more music, but I wanted to do this while I was not sleepy or in dangerous traffic. I'm on headphones though, it's not like I'm, you know, actually holding a microphone. But thanks for listening, thanks for praying, thanks for loving, thanks for supporting. And I'll be posting some details about San Diego coming up soon. And I hope to hear from you soon. So thanks for caring enough to listen. And bye.